All right, we are rolling. Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Do you notice something different about my space? I've been working all week getting this room. This used to be my son's bedroom, kind of turned into a recording studio for my craft tutorials, and I will have a video on that on my YouTube channel in a couple of days. I kind of filmed the process step by step as I went through turning this just basic box in the basement into a craft area, or actually a recording studio. I did bring my markers because they're kind of eye-catching and people always remark about the markers, so I thought that would be pretty to have in the background. And I painted the wall, the brick wall there, the faux brick wall, and I even have my easel in the corner, so I do intend on doing some easel painting tutorials at some point, but yeah, that's there, and it's a room that has one purpose, and I'm so happy that I don't have to have such a multi-purpose space anymore. I've been in the unfinished corner of that basement for 14 years. I've done YouTube over there for 10, and it's nice to have an actual dedicated space. This might sound a little echoey, the lighting might be a little off, I'm still tweaking stuff. I just finished it up last night, so yeah, it's a little new, and hopefully it sounds all right. I have my sewing mannequin and my thread on the wall over there. I might do some sewing tutorials, or I might just, sew for fun. And I got a nice big table, so yeah. Oh boy, what a week. So I hope you're having a good week. It was pretty, I want to say pretty uneventful. I've had a lot of projects I've been working on. I've been working on this room all week. But probably the most eventful thing happened last night when I was walking my dog. It was right after I'd finished putting this room together. And earlier this week, the dog didn't even tangle with this cat, but there was a cat that jumped out of the ditch and chased her. And so every time we walk by this house, she's been a little on edge and she's been looking for that cat. And so last night I was walking her and the cat was in the ditch. The cat jumped out at her while she was looking around for the cat, and she spotted it and she started to sniff around kind of curious, and the cat was not having it, and she jumped out and hissed and then started chasing her. And I don't even know what hand was holding the leash in, but anyways, Penny pulled from me and she knocked me over, dragged me down the road. I got road rash on my shoulder. I've got, I don't know if you're able to see it. Maybe if I back up, let me back up. Oh my gosh, I don't think you can see it, maybe skunned my leg. Oh, it's awful. Skunned my leg, my ankle's all skunned, my wrist is sprained, I'm pretty sure. It's very difficult to type. It doesn't hurt when I'm just when it's just plain, like I'm not doing anything, and I've been icing it and doing ibuprofen and everything. But yeah, if I go to type, if I try to I couldn't open my mascara today. I had my son open my mascara for me. So yeah, it's tender, but I'm hoping that it will just be fine and I won't have to go see a doctor or anything. I think it's gonna be fine. I was fixing my hair this morning and burnt myself on my neck, and I've got a bunch of filming to do today, so I've got to do it all early before the burn shows up on my neck so I don't look like I have a big hickey. And yeah, the week was going so good, and then now I'm a disaster. It just all fell apart at the end. So what else? Oh, I don't know, I feel like everything I've done this week is going to be culminated in the room redo video. I can do a quick little pan around though and show you kind of what's going on here. You'll see that little unit on the wall is a very effective heater. I've got some foam on the walls and on the ceiling to deaden the sound, and I actually made good use of my yarn. You see that over in the corner there? I took my yarn and I put it in that bookcase to kind of get some of the hopefully stop some of the bounce of the voice and whatnot. And you can kind of see my umbrella light stands, so I can tip up there, the umbrella light stands. I've always had those, but I never really liked having the umbrellas out because they took so much space, and oh, it's way too high. They took so much space, and it was I just didn't like having all that space there. They didn't seem to really diffuse or do much, but I realized if I bounce it off the umbrella, I don't think I'll have a lot of glare on my work, so I'm hoping that that works out good. Let's see, what else is new? I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I think it's been like a week and a half or 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, I put my drafting table upstairs in the addition so I could look out over the balcony out back, look at the backyard, and have like a play art desk where I wouldn't be working. I would just be kind of playing in my sketchbook and just relaxing and just doing some art for fun. And I shared one of the first sketches that I did, and people were asking for a tutorial, and then I realized, well, you know, doing that sketchbook work, I mean, some are going to be good, some are going to be duds, but it's going to give me some good places to mine ideas for tutorials from. So even though it's not working per se, and I got to make sure that I keep that in my mindset that this is fun, don't stress out about it, just have fun. It will be a good source to grab some tutorials from. So I'm looking forward to spending more time there, just creating. And I mean, like, we have a big TV there. I could actually put a TV show on, or I've been listening to podcasts, or a lot of times I just go out to the balcony and sit on the balcony and sketch with watercolors, because it's, you know, we have such a short summer in Maine that I want to kind of like suck all of the goodness that I can out of the summer weather. So it's nice because it's right. Just open the door, I step out, and I'm on the balcony, and it's nice. So yeah. This has been good. I was really nervous about doing the addition and spending the money and all of that, but I'm glad that we've done it. And yeah, I'm glad. I really like this space. I'm feeling really happy about this. The furniture that's in here, with the exception of the big table, was just left behind for my son. He didn't want it because he was moving into our old master bedroom, which had 2 big closets. So the wardrobe I'm using for camera equipment, like tripods and other light stands that I have. And the top part of the armoire, I realized that it's big enough for me to lay down my largest matted watercolors that I like sell at craft fairs and art fairs and stuff. So I'm actually going to use a wardrobe for my inventory. There is a little shop in Bangor called Accents where I sell my cards. So I do constantly try to, well, I mean, they've been closed. They're probably open now. They've been closed for customers for a couple months because of COVID-19. But my husband's going to put some shelves in there because there's little holes in there for you to put little pins. You'll see it if you watch the video on redoing this room. So I'm going to put like shelves in there and be able to have my baskets of different cards. So as I finish up cards, I can package them, put them right in there, priced and ready to go. So if I do get an opportunity to do an art fair, or the Accents needs more inventory, I can just quickly grab it and go. Because before, I mean, my matted watercolors were shoved underneath the stairs in the basement. My boxes I had like cardboard boxes with my bins of handmade cards in the utility room. I mean, it was just kind of like everything's been so ad hoc, and just kind of cram it where you can fit it for so long in this home, because it's a small house, that now that we have space, it's like I really want to make sure everything is being used well, and things aren't crammed, and things that we don't need that are just been sitting around because you don't know what to do with them just either get either used or gone. So I was really hoping to, this is funny, I was hoping that I would have more time to kind of finish up, like tidying up the basement and stuff, now that I got this room done. Because I did clear out about, like, I had my drafting table was in the middle of the basement, that went upstairs. Things have been like easing down here, which is really nice. Like the space has been easing. So I've been having like my back and my legs have been really stiff. I need to get some new walking sneakers or running shoes. But with the stores closed, I haven't, and I want to try on my sneakers. I don't just want to buy them without trying them on, because that's one thing I'm picky about is my walking shoes. Sometimes you buy some sneakers and like I want a really firm sole that's really supportive, like with a high arch. I really like the Nike downshifters, and I like the Asics running shoes or walking shoes. The ones that have like a firmer sole. When I try other brands, they seem to break down really fast. Because I walk quite a lot, and I'd gone to the mall like last week because my daughters wanted to buy some shorts, and Lila had some things to return, and I was going to go to Dick's while I was there and buy a pair of sneakers, and I was just so overwhelmed by wearing the mask and being in public and keep an eye on the kids that I was just like, I totally forgot that I wanted to buy sneakers. And so I didn't get any, and I was like, my legs, my back has been really stiff, and I think it's because I was using some other shoes that I had to walk, and it's kind of catching up with me. So But being dragged down the road by a, you know, crazy dog, it seems to have, I don't know, like given me a chiropractic adjustment because now I don't feel sore. It's either that or how my wrist pain is enough to distract me from the other ailments that I have. Oh boy, I mean, I'm very healthy. So, I mean, I'm just kidding. You know, if I thought there was something seriously wrong, then I would go see a doctor. But it's just, I think it's just it's a bruise or like you can you see that? Like streak that was there like immediately after falling. It's like a bruise. And I mean, like bruises show up pretty quickly because especially my hand, the skin is so light and so thin. Even though I'm sporting my summer tan, it's, you know, still bruise shows up pretty well. And I have to say, I have this big bruise on my leg, and I didn't even realize I had it. But I think with all the moving around furniture down here and stuff, it's like I'll whack into something and I'll go, you know, and it'll hurt like a lot, and then I just completely forget about it. And then like I'll see a bruise 2 days later, it's like, what the heck did I do? You know, it's like I look like I need to like write notes down like that guy in the movie Memento where like he couldn't remember anything that happened. So yeah, I'm a walking disaster these last couple days, but I'm so happy with how this room came out. This dresser was left behind by my son, like didn't need it because he had all the storage upstairs. I don't really have much in the drawers, but the nice thing is as I'm like working projects, like if I'm filming a couple different projects and one day I can have like a drawer dedicated to each project. I'm still using the other space as storage because everything's very practically laid out and easy to get to, and the space isn't needed for anything else. So I really like that. I don't have to use this as storage and as a workspace. Having the markers here, I mean, I do grab those markers more often than any others, so that's going to be really handy if I'm doing a card making tutorial and I just, you know, need to grab my colors, unless I'm working with a specific markers, a specific brand, because I do some freelance work for a couple different marker companies, and I keep those sets together just so I can grab them and bring them in. But those are all just kind of like personally purchased, for the most part, open stock markers that I'm using. Oh, did you see that Blick? I think I mentioned this before. Blick has released like 47 or 48 new colors of their studio markers, and let me see, this is a Blick studio marker. It looks a lot like a Copic. The tips are so good. The brush tip on this is so good. I don't know if I can open the marker right now. Wait, can I do it one-handed? Yes, I can do it one-handed. So there. You can see the brush tip on that is really good. I don't know if that's going to show up because of the way the camera is configured, but yeah, I really like these markers, and I'm probably, I don't know if I'll buy them all, but definitely the lighter tones. I love that their refills are affordable because Copic has made their refills half as big and they're still charging like $6. So that's annoying. That's so annoying. I'm very annoyed by that because really, it's ink. I don't think it's that expensive, and then you have to throw away more bottles, you know. Then again, if you never use up your ink, maybe that's the thing. Maybe people are buying those big things of ink. They're only 25 cc's of ink. Maybe people weren't using them up and they had all these half-used bottles and they were annoyed by that. But, you know, make the price cheaper if you're going to do that. Make it half the price if you're going to give you half the amount. It's just shrinkflation, and I find it very annoying. But maybe there are other things at play that I don't understand or that I'm not privy to. I love having my mannequin. I use that a lot, actually. It's very handy if you're making costumes or you're altering stuff to have a mannequin you can size to you. Highly recommend it if you see a good price on one. I think I got that at Joann's. Yeah, I think it's from Joann's. Actually, Jason got me that for Christmas, but they run sales on those at Joann's, and they run pretty good deals. So, yes. I really don't have much else to talk about this week, I guess. This has been consuming my week. I hope the audio sounds all right. I do want to mention that if you're like a Critique Club member, if you have artwork to upload, if you waited a couple days, that would be so awesome. I'm having a difficult time typing today and last night responses, and I do want to give really meaty, in-depth responses back. So if they were just, you know, that's a favor. I mean, obviously you don't have to. I mean, you're paying money to be in Critique Club, so, you know, you could post whenever you want. But if you didn't mind waiting a couple days to post your artwork, that would be so helpful because I'm having a really tough time typing. So I love reading your comments. If you have something to say, please do. If you have something cheerful or uplifting to share, I would love to see it. If you have a link to an interesting article, something artsy, something fabulous, share that down below. I probably won't be responding too much, just because typing is, I get to save my typing for when I really need to type, because it's a bit of a challenge right now, but I don't want to complain because I know a lot of people have it a lot worse than I do, so what's, you know, complaining doesn't do any good. That's about it. Yeah. It's a short sat chat today, 15 minutes. It's really short for us. But I wanted to check in, show you what I was up to, and stick around for, or stay tuned for the upcoming video on this new room. I'm really, really pleased with how it came out. It'll be really interesting to hear the audio back on this video and hear how it sounds, if it sounds really echoey or not. Because that was the great thing about having that corner of the unfinished basement. There's so many things in there, because I stored everything in there, that it really muffled and absorbed sound. So I didn't get the echo and the reverb that I'm probably having right now here. But I might have to hang some fabric panels or do something. There's lots of DIYs for acoustical panels and stuff like that I can make. I could even put something that, because the only downside to this is that this room, like behind me, there's so just to orient you, behind me would be my old craft space where I'm storing, and I'll do like big messy tutorials in there. On that side, on the opposite wall, is the utility room where the water pump is, because we have a well as opposed to like city water, because we're out in the country, and our pump is in the basement, not in the well. I don't know why sometimes they do it in the well, sometimes they do it in the basement, but ours is in the basement. Probably because servicing is easier if it's in the basement. I don't know. But anyway, that's still there, so if that kicks on, I will hear it. The heater is really efficient. I can heat up this room and turn it off. But it does make noise. But if I wanted to, like if it was the dead of winter and it was chilly down here, I can use my quiet radiator, and this is so well insulated that it'll stay nice and warm. That to me is like the best. I don't need a sink. I don't need anything fancy, but man, heat, that is like, I feel like the Queen of England. I feel like I could have the Queen of England over here to craft with me, because we've got heat. It's fancy. It's so fancy. I'm feeling very, very, very legitimate today. I usually feel like a fly-by-night operation, which my husband saw this plastic table that I had, which is my craft fair table. He's like, you look like you're running a fly-by-night business here with that folding table. But it's so lightweight, and I can actually, I'm not going to keep stuff on it other than my pencil sharpener and my heat tool and my laptop as I'm using it. If I do a craft fair, I can like pick this table up and go. I don't intend on storing things in here. I'm going to store it in my storage area and just bring out what I need per project. That's how I pretty much treated my big table anyway all the time, so I don't think it'll be that difficult. I don't think I'll let things creep in here. Unless it's something I use every day, then I probably let it stay. But if it's something I only use once a week, it doesn't need to live in here. That's my plan so far. I probably won't know exactly how it's going to work out until I've been in this space for, you know, a couple months. But so far so good. It's been literally hours, but I'm a pro. I know exactly how this is gonna go. It's perfect. I'm really liking it. I want to have a friend over to craft. I'm very excited for that. So that's it for the Sat Chat today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you haven't been dragged down the road by a wild dog like I have. But you know, that's my hope for you. I hope you're healthy. And oh, I did want to share a recipe. I've been meaning to share this, but I keep forgetting. So I believe that the best way to stay healthy in these times is to eat well. And I have a very inexpensive recipe that you can make, and it's great if you have somebody to split it with. And what I do is I take a half a cup of old-fashioned oats and 1 cup of water and like a medium apple, like a tart apple, like a Macintosh or a Granny Smith, something that's got a little bite to it. Chop that up into like 1/2-inch cubes and throw it in the water with your oatmeal. Microwave it for 3 minutes. And make sure you use a bigger bowl so it doesn't like overflow, because it's going to expand and contract. And then add 2 tablespoons peanut butter powder, and I get mine on Amazon. I'll try to remember to link it. You gotta watch it because I buy it when it's around $12 or $13 for a big number 10 can, but the price will jack up to like 40 something bucks. So keep an eye on it, buy it when it's cheap. But it's really, if you're not allergic to peanuts, obviously skip it if you are. But it's a really great source of protein and it doesn't have any fat in it. And then I'll throw in a banana. And if you have any berries or dried fruit or anything like that, you can put that in there too. I find the banana gives it plenty of sweetness, but if you want, you could add like brown sugar or an artificial sweetener, whatever you want. I also put a big dash of cinnamon in before I cook it. This is like the worst recipe ever. I'm not even going in the timeline that you put it together. But anyway, you get the idea. And then divide it up. It makes 2 really hearty portions. And I find that's great because you're getting half an apple, half a banana. You're getting a lot of, you're getting your potassium and magnesium. You're getting a lot of vitamins, your oatmeal. I'm not sure if the old-fashioned oatmeal has like the complex B vitamins. I don't know if they enrich that or if it's not enriched. I'm not sure. Because sometimes when you buy something, they enrich it in the store, but that's usually when it's something very refined, and old-fashioned oats aren't really that refined. You could probably use steel cut oats too. I'm not sure how that changes the cooking time, but yeah, it's really hearty. It's got a lot of nutrition and very little fat. And it's kind of invigorating because you get the sugar from your bananas and your fruits, but you're getting a lot of fiber from the oatmeal and from the apple, and it's just a really great way to start your day. You're getting antioxidants from berries if you put berries in. Even bananas have some antioxidants in them, so I mean, it's if berries are expensive where you are, then you could omit them or use something else. Maybe use a dried fruit. But it gives you like a really great start to your day. It's nice and hearty. If you have a big appetite, you can eat the whole thing yourself. But if you have a smaller appetite, you can split it. Because once you get all that fruit in there, that's quite a lot of volume. And it might be a little too much. So I usually split it with one of my daughters, whoever is up. And if there's nobody around to split it with, what I usually do is just have a packet of oatmeal, because a packet of oatmeal has half of the stuff. I just get the low sugar stuff and I'll throw some peanut butter powder in that. So it's not as nutritious, but it's still a great start of the day, and I'm a big breakfast fan. And of course you can have that for dinner or another meal that you don't really feel like cooking. That's the other thing. I hadn't cooked in like a week and a half because I've been so busy doing different jobs that I've had here, my artsy business, and Jason who usually does my editing, has been doing trim and the addition, finishing that up. So I didn't want to pull him off those projects to do editing. So I'd spent a lot of long days, and I've had the Pizza Land menu next to my phone, and that's been our dinners. So that hasn't been very good. So I was kind of yeah, I need to share that recipe, because I'm sure there's other really busy parents out there that would like a really healthy, quick recipe they can make. And there's no reason you can't have it for dinner. And you can even throw it in the fridge if you prefer to have a cold oatmeal. Do whatever suits your need. But it's nice because you can keep a lot of those things around. They don't spoil very quickly, and it's just a quick meal that you can make in 5 minutes, and it's very nutritious. So yeah, it's probably the only recipes you're going to get. I did a fairly unsuccessful batch of sourdough bread yesterday, luckily before the whole wrist incident, because there's no way I could have kneaded bread with that wrist, because it seems to be if I've got a type or I've got a grip, that's where I'm getting the pain. But I think it's just a minor sprain, probably. Just a minor flesh wound, ain't it? That would be my leg. That would be the minor flesh wound. The dog keeps wanting to sniff it, and I read an article on CNN about this woman who woke up in the hospital with amputated limbs because she got a cut and her dog licked the cut, and then she ended up with some crazy disease. There's some germ that dogs can carry. I'm okay, stay away, junkyard dog. Don't come anywhere near my wounds. You did this. Oh, I could see why our first dog was a golden retriever. This dog's a hot mess. I was saying it's more nurture than nature, but I don't know, there's some crazy in that dog, I gotta say. She's a good dog, but she is a handful compared to a golden retriever, I will tell you that. And I'm a big believer in giving your dog plenty of exercise so they behave, but they can still get derailed by a vicious cat, apparently. So there you have it. The kids are going to be on more dog walking duty. We're not going to walk by the scary cat house anymore, at least not for a while, not till and we'll walk on the opposite side of the road. I gotta cross the road because of that cat. Oh my word. I'm just glad that none of my neighbors that lived within sight of that incident were home, because I can only imagine what it looked like. I have the road rash, so I know I skidded at one point, but I also remember rolling like, you know, like some stunt person, some very bad stunt person doesn't know how to take a fall, apparently. But it was, I was just like stunned. I'm so glad there's no traffic, no cars coming, because can you imagine explaining that in the emergency room? Yes, my dog was running away from a cat. I fell, I rolled and got hit by a car. They'd be like, what? Who is this train wreck that came into it would have been a bad story. But luckily there was, you know, we rarely see vehicles on that street, and none of the neighbors were home to witness the tale. Yeah, my exciting story for the day, for the week, for the Sat Chat. Hopefully your week is going a little smoother than mine. All that said, I'm just so pleased with how this room came out, that I had an opportunity to tackle this week. I'm very pleased, very happy with it. And I hope you are having a good week. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're safe. I hope you feel good. And yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.